consistent.
Bochinche.
So wait. So the real question is, did you have surgery?
No. Jesus. Why would I invest money in that? Like, I would invest money in my education. I can't be spending like $5,000 on new sets of racks.
Well, okay,
here.
so the way you answered that question, would you if you had the money?
No, why would I? Already look like people already accusing me of it. Like, why would I even try to spend money on
Why would I look more plastic if I'm looking plastic already? So every time I see that, like people doing that to themselves, I'm like, did they not see other people doing it before? And did they not see,
you know
like,
what it
the
is?
horror?
I think it's just social media and all these online things that are teaching women or even men, because there's a guy that I follow, I think his name is Marcos, and he does plastic surgery to everyone. And I've seen guys go on there too and get like the abdominal linings. Like they go in full pipa, like a full
But
pipa.
that to me is not plastic. Hold on.
And they got a 6-pack by the end of their appointment.
But that to me isn't like when I think of plastic surgeries, I think about the nose, I think about the mouth, the cheekbones, I think about the face. I think about the body. Everything. I guess the body is plastic surgery too, right? Que estúpida. Wait, so I don't.
I would think you're talking about like facial recognition.
No, I'm not talking about facial recognition. What's wrong with you? No, what I'm saying is that hold on. I'm gonna have to. I think I have to switch this thing up so you can see.
Protein in my shape.
I'm gonna turn on the camera so you can see me on that end, and then I'm gonna move myself over, I guess, or something. Hold on, this is a mess. Yeah, I'm gonna put myself down here. I'm gonna put my other self.
We need to redo this whole thing.
No, we good. People know. Well, first of all, people don't really watch my show. Let's see how well they watch our show, if they even bother to watch it. But I'm trying to be as tall as you.
Probably not. When I'm talking about facial recognition and things, we're not even talking about that. We're
no,
talking
because
about, like,
there was a singer recently that did a song, and they were making mad fun of him.
The Weeknd.
Yeah, The Weeknd. See, I'm not really into the whole. I don't really follow all that stuff too much, but I see it on Instagram. And this dude looked like, didn't he know that he was gonna end up looking like an alien, like straight up like an alien from outer space?
I think that I'm not sure the full purpose of his prosthetic makeup because that's not real. I'm almost sure it has to do a lot with being a celebrity and always having to look good or look up to par. There is actually a man that looks exactly like that, and he's the Tiger Man. I don't know if you've seen him before.
The two tiger guys? The Tiger
There's
Man.
a Tiger Man. He's like on the... yeah, look it up. He has literally the cheekbones installed, whiskers. He has his teeth shaved down, and he looks exactly like how The Weeknd looked in that video.
And it's the same look. Every time they go to plastic, every time a person decides to go that route on their face, I'm being specific to la cara. Every time they go specific to go to change their face, they all look the same.
It's the cheekbones and the jawline that they accentuate.
Yeah. Would you do that if you had the money? No, you said no.
And technically the nose, I think too, they thin out the nose very finely on a lot of celebrities. I don't know why.
I just want to know who's attracted to that. Like, who's going, oh, Little Kim, yes.
Who's attracted to what?
That alien face. It's the same face.
I was just talking about Little Kim today.
I'm pretty sure you were.
She actually, interesting fact, I read a news article about her recently where, and don't quote, if I'm wrong, but I read it in an article. I'm going to try to see if I can forward it to you. But in the article, it says how she did her surgeries, but they were because she wanted to be more Latina. So she did it based on what she thought Latin women look like.
Dum dum dum
I mean, I don't know
dum.
how true that is. It's in an article. Anybody could have written that, but I did read it and I
In
was
a
like,
way,
that's
I would have been like, so Spanish people look fake, plastic, e.
I
I
I don't
mean,
even know.
if the articles like if it's genuine and whatnot, and that's again like something that I talk about on the basement a lot of times. Like get your facts. Don't rely on one source. You know what I mean? Try to get like you'll get a news story or news article, even a video. And it's
Right.
clipped. You don't know what the whole conversation was about. You know what I mean? And they'll clip it and make it a headline, and that's how people make their money. So us, the people, the viewers, we got to spend our time if we care. Like if this is what you're into, this is what you like talking about, or this is the person that you follow, whatever the case may be, that you do a little research and make sure that the facts that you're getting that they're straight, that they're real.
Right.
But today is a special day, obviously. Today's the 20th.
Is it?
Well, yeah,
Bing, 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 bing,
wait a minute. Jesus Christ.
That's usually the sound of like celebrating.
Wait, you don't know what happened today?
Donald Trump finished his term in presidency.
Yeah. It's funny that you
And like
mentioned
now there's an older man that's close to death. Pretty close.
when they went to the cemetery.
I don't want to say please Jesus, because I mean it would just only make the first female president exist if he were to go. But you can't wish that on people. So
But that's what
he
everyone's
got 4
thinking,
years.
right?
I mean, who wouldn't think that? How old is he? What's his actual age? Like 76, something like that?
78, I think. Again, we don't know what we're talking about. Check it out yourself. Do your own research. I'm too lazy. No, but I think he's 78, making him now. It was Trump making him now the oldest president. And my thing is like, when I saw him and I saw
I have a
Bush,
very random question. I don't know why it popped in my head.
go for it. I don't want
It's
you
a random question.
Uh-huh.
No, because you're saying that about their age, and I'm just thinking like, obviously we all know before Trump got into office, he had a lot of hair thinning, and then like he left, and I guess his hair grew. So today there was a view from up above, like an eagle's view. God bless America. On top of Biden's head, and there was like tons of missing hair. So I'm just wondering if that's like a benefit when you become the president. You like grow hair magically, thick unicorn hair.
You say unicorn hair?
Like when the wind blows, it doesn't.
What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. No. I think that former President Trump is the only president that grew healthier hair. Everyone else turned gray. Like you saw, I don't know if you saw it, but you saw like Obama, like he was grayed out. You know what I mean? Every other president like grays in. Like it's a stressful job, and you could tell. Se ven, they look like they aged extra. Having to deal with the safety of our country. Trump is the only one that it's like feeding him. It's like making him stronger when he's like a mutant. So it's funny that you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that because I'm like, yo, what is it with this guy and this job? It's just, I don't know. Yeah, today was the transfer of power, and they kept saying it's peaceful. Look how peaceful it is. You guys have more people, officials, officers, military, more than most countries have an army covering this one event. I don't think peaceful is the word. It looks more like it's forced, like ain't nothing happening here. No one's going to be walking the streets.
When you talk about that and it comes down to it, like just seeing the past few weeks, how the White House was bombarded, people broke in. That's just something I've never seen it. Never. In any term that any president has done so far. So my thing is, how come none of those people were shot again? I'm just saying, like, not that I'm totally against like violence, but why weren't any of those people like reprimanded or arrested or punished, right? But like my thing is, if it was a group of black people, there would have been, or a group of Latinos, would have been shot. That's just the truth of it. Would have been shot right where we stand. And again, I'm not trying to make it a racism thing, but the facts of it is the truth. You've seen all the people that were climbing up in the windows and through the White House. I think they were in the room too, that office, the round circle, whatever it's called.
The chambers.
The Oval Office.
Senate floor. Yeah.
Eso mismo. And they were in there.
So,
the level of disrespect, because it really is disrespectful.
Well, the thing is that
they should have been arrested.
6 people actually died in this event. One was an officer. So people, there were, and one lady got shot, and that video is crazy. Shot that lady dead.
Did she die?
She did. She actually did die.
Oh,
white lady.
I did not see those videos.
This is what the media portrays. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you that there's a difference in behavior, but I think that...
Okay, you said there was only 6 people. But what happened in Wisconsin? In Wisconsin, that young kid went out and shot a whole bunch of people, killed 2 people, and the officers were praising this guy.
Yeah, I definitely agree that there's a double standard. There's definitely a double standard. They arrested him. There's definitely a double standard. But I don't think that the media is doing what their job is, which is to be not biased. I think they're very biased. And I think that, if anything, like, you remember being in school, instigators? Shoot, I'm still an instigator. You know what I mean? Just to, like, start little I think that's what so coming from a professional instigator, I feel that the media, that's exactly what the media is doing.
Certified.
The only school I went to. I feel like the media is doing that instead of being what they proclaim or act like they are, non-biased. We just cover their facts. No, you don't. You cover whatever gives you the ratings. And I think that because we're a people that loves drama, Bochinche, we love the what's the thing, we feed into that. So if the news if the news medias are giving us boring stories, we're gonna be like, yeah, let me turn on Wendy Williams. Yo, Wendy Williams. Yo, me neither.
No offense to her.
No, I'm offending her.
I just can't with her.
I can't. She is boring. If you notice,
she looks like one of them Jewish tops. That they a dreidel.
Dreidel. You're horrible. What I've noticed about her, because I watch Fox News, I like seeing Mike and Roseanne, go at it. But at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, whenever she comes on, I'll catch like the first 5 minutes. And I'm like, let me give this bitch a try. And I'm like, all right. And I'm sitting there.
And then she's like, how you doing? She got liquor in that cup. She got some scissor. Last time she drank it, she had like a... Did you see that episode when she went like...
No, I don't watch the show. So I tried watching it like a week or 2 ago.
It was literally in the introductory. She walked in and she was like... And she passed out.
Wow, I gotta look at that. I gotta look at that. No, but she what I noticed with her is that I feel like she's lacking so much content that the hour that they gave her, it's too much time. Because when she'll talk, she'll be like, she'll say something like, I cannot believe this, Barack Obama. And like 10 seconds passes. Then she'll be like, in other words, and I'm like, why did you kill? Why were we just staring at your face for 5 seconds? Because you ain't got nothing to say. And you're trying to waste that hour begging for it to pass. Because I don't know. I feel like she's slow with it. Like, she'll start a topic and then she'll just sit there. Dead ass, look at the camera. And I'm like...
I feel like I'm doing that right now. I I ain't gonna cut because I feel like I'm doing that same thing right now. Like,
yeah, but we are
how you
noobs.
doing?
We're totally like two regular ass people, just faking the funk over here, having a conversation. She has this whole audience, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
You know what? I think it all started back when she had a radio show. She had a radio show a few years ago. And she used that show to knock celebrities. And then that show became a TV show. And I mean, like,
what do you
again, like
consider
you
her?
said, everything is drawn by drama and people wanting to know other people's lives because they don't have their own. That's basically what that show is. And TMZ is kind of up there with that. You know, there's situations where they've leaked information about things that other people don't know about, you know? Or like if somebody died that was a celebrity and the family don't know yet, TMZ posts it up first.
Yeah.
And,
they out there, yo. They are following people.
Yes, you want to be able to give the best, right? You want to be able to give the up-to-date news and every detail. However, you want to also be able to respect like the people you're talking about and their homes and their families.
Yeah, like I don't want to see Justin Bieber's
that's
penis.
Something that they don't do.
Right?
Ew. I mean,
here we go. This is why they're successful. Because you.
I thought you'd always be mine.
It's all about the cheddar at the end of the day. That's the sad part. And for, I don't know, I feel like the quarantine, I think, has given people more time. And, people are like reading more. They're looking up things more. You know what I mean? They're talking about things a little bit more, and getting information. And some of them, refuse to believe what they're hearing. And others don't. I think you're lying
just a little bit.
What you mean?
People are just too focused on the PlayStation, on the Xbox, on video games. A lot of people are not really focused on reading and doing a lot of productive stuff, like to feed their brain. To be honest, it's just the truth. Like,
I didn't mean like reading like a book. I meant like reading like.
You just said reading a book. It's recorded.
Not a book. I said spend time
recorded.
reading, researching what they're. So like they'll see a news post and then they'll start looking up more about that news post. And then they'll talk to their friends like, did you hear about this? And they're like, nah, but I heard about the same thing. But it was, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like they're instead of just scrolling because they have more time, it's like they're scrolling and then they're conversating or they're going to their other social platform. Because how many are there right now that are popping? You got TikTok people going in there like crazy. Instagram never stopped. Facebook for the old people like me. Twitter. I got like 15 messages on Twitter. I don't even use
Twitter.
So,
I mean, I really do not. I think I have 3 accounts because I always forget the password. And I don't even know how to use it.
But let me ask you this. When you go on your social media, let's say Instagram, do you then, after you're done there, do you then go to Facebook? And then when you're done there, do you go to the other one? Because that's what I do.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You're the one on the phone. What do you mean?
It's not like I wake up every morning like first thing I'm gonna do is Facebook. I don't do that. But when I go in my phone, first thing, if I go in my phone during the morning time after doing what I need to do, I'll look first at my text messages. No,
but I'm just saying whatever point of time of day. Whatever day, regularly, don't you go like, okay, Facebook, let me see what Instagram doing. Let me see what.
No, I'm serious. Like I go to text messages, emails, then I go to Instagram, Facebook.
See?
Snapchat. You forgot about Snapchat. Snapchat's one. Snapchat, and I never go to Twitter, so never, ever, ever. And TikTok, I don't really go into TikTok. I know it's really something that everyone's using now, but I really don't go into it.
TikTok.
Sometimes I think it's connected to my Instagram page, so I'm able to see like TikTok videos on Instagram, which I don't know if anyone else can do that, but my phone does that, so I don't know.
Interesting. But you just proved my point. You go from one to the other, and then you're kind of like done. You leave it alone. You move on to something else. Whatever.
But not every day. Not every day. Sometimes I'll forget.
Even if you do it 2 times a day, they're spread part. But what I'm saying is that when you do,
The thing is, my phone tells me how many times I use an app.
you notice that.
Sometimes at the end of the day, I'll look to see how much time I actually invest in certain apps. Yes. Because I don't want to waste my time using just being on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to monitor how much time you're investing in something in a day. There's 24 hours. You sleep 8.
Yeah.
You should be able to do something with the rest of your day.
The pastor of the church that I go to puts his phone on monotone, where it's all black and white, because studies have found that when it's black and white, it's less addictive. Like, you go in and you get bored of it, you without even thinking about it, you put it down. So that's what he does to not be
okay.
Not that I don't even think I am, because when I go on social media, I'm going at it.
That's a horrible prank for an old person. That's a horrible prank for an old person.
Why is that? Nobody. I'm not saying I'm gonna grab people's phone and put it.
Abuelo, se te fue el color. You know, like,
I'm not saying
like an old person grabs your phone and they're like, se me fue el color, estoy viejo. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but I'm not. Why did you think that was for old people? Why are you trying to prank old people with black and white model tones?
I'm gonna tell you a story. No, I'm gonna tell you a story. One time, my grandpa, que en paz descanse, I went to go visit him in Puerto Rico, and he had Alzheimer's, and he also he had dementia. So he had both of those illness you get as you get older that affect the brain and your memory, right? So there were instances where I just was in shock, because he's laying there and he woke up and he thought I was my grandmother. And he was like, oh my God, you waited for me in heaven, like, and you still look as beautiful as the first day I met you. And I'm like, trying not to cry, because I'm like, that's the most romantic thing anyone's ever told me, and it's my grandpa. Like, you know what I mean? But
romantic in the sense that he was thinking about his
right,
wife.
He reminisced in a moment that was special maybe to him, and he thought of my grandma. But anyway, in that same moment, he looked up and he looked at the TV, and the Yankees were playing. And he was confused because the TV was in color. So he's like, why is the TV in color? Like, the TV's always been gray. Then he looks at me, he's like, when did we get a TV in color? Those are expensive. And I'm like, abuelo, like, we're in 2000, we're in the 2000s. Like, everything's in color now. And he's like, these aren't even the right players. Who are these players? They suck. They keep dropping the ball. And we're like, they're different players, abuelo. Because in his mind, he thought he was in 1947.
Wow.
When we asked him what year it was. And so, it could be really devastating to someone that seen him 100% healthy and then watch him, deteriorate and become a lost memory,
Yeah, that's sad.
Trying to find himself, basically. So it was kind of hard for me, but just you saying that about, him changing the color reminded me of my grandfather. If I knew that was something that I could do, I would probably change my phone to gray, because then he wouldn't have been so confused. But then he still would have been like, what kind of TV is this? Holding the phone in his hand.
Yeah. I wasn't suggesting you grab somebody else's phone and change it to monotone. That's how I know you're evil, bitch. All right, so
last time I grabbed someone's phone to, touch it was because I was going through it.
And that's a thing in relationships, right?
Boy, who said it was my boyfriend? Who said it was a boy? Nah, I'm kidding.
Stalker alert! Stalker alert! We got stalker alert.
No, it was my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, and the phone was already actually open. So he was getting a bunch of text messages, and he fell asleep. So I grabbed the phone and I looked at it. But when I looked at it, I saw it wasn't me texting him pictures of my.
So hold on. Let's go back for a second. So I'm not in a relationship right now. But
this wasn't my recent relationship. This was
somebody else.
The one prior.
So my thing is this, like, if looking at your phone is an issue on either side, then I don't want to be with that person.
Right. They're secret.
Yeah. If you want the password to my if we're together, you want the password to my phone, I'm gonna give it to you because we're together and I'm trusting you with not just my phone but like the information in there. You know, the debit, the bank card, the apps.
The what card? Ew.
Debit card, the banking card.
Oh.
What did you hear? Yo, you are tú estás bien mal. Bochinche. All right.
El Bochinche y la Biblia. La Biblia está aquí.
She's holding it. She needed it for the first episode of us.
I need it for the first episode. Lord Jesus, help me.
All right.
Might not to say things that are inappropriate.
Yeah. If so, like if I'm with a girl and her phone goes off, I'm not doing this.
Oh no! That's not what happened. No.
I'm just saying.
I may have said it wrong. Like the phone was down, and I was watching TV, and it kept going off and off, but the screen was on. So I just got up, like, let me shut it off.
Yeah.
Obviously, I went to grab it.
Right.
But when I went to grab it, then I noticed that there was like a bunch of naked pictures of somebody else.
Wepa.
And I was like, first of all, I went to look because I want to make sure she don't look better than me. Let's just get that clear. I'm looking, I'm zooming in. I'm like, ew. And then after I did all that, I was like, excuse me, wake up. You got a text message. You know what I mean? And the person really got mad. In all honesty, I didn't take that relationship that serious, so I wasn't as upset as I would have been if it was someone that I actually was taking serious. But when I approached him about it, he was like, "Oh, I'm just playing with her head because she's my sugar mama. I don't do nothing with her. I just play with her head. And yeah, she's my sugar mama." And I was like, that's disgusting. Like, you can't take care of yourself? You gotta have a grown old woman take care of you, like, on a pension check? Come on.
Ooh.
With saggy ice cream.
Ice cream? Why'd you have to ruin ice cream?
Because ice cream, when it melts, it's ruined.
When's the last time you had ice cream?
If ice cream melts and then you put it back in the freezer, it's disgusting.
That's ice. Then it gets the pelito ice, the furry ice.
Frost.
Oh, the furry ice. Ugh.
Yeah, the frost.
Yeah, it's like frosty hair. Yeah.
Yeah, like the freezer burn, that nasty taste. If you lived in the hood or have had hood problems, you know what freezer burn tastes like.
How you gonna have hood problems if you're not from the hood?
You're like, right. You if you don't know what freezer burn tastes like, you've never been through a struggle.
I feel like I'm struggling right now.
Water, when it tastes like nasty. Like one time I went to this restaurant and they gave me this water, and it was disgusting. It was like, I don't know. Obviously, it didn't have a good filter. Because it tastes like pure iron. Yeah. It was gross. It was like pure iron. When I drank it, it just had this funny, nasty taste to it.
How the hell you know what iron tastes like?
And I was like, man. I have low deficiency of iron, so when I intake it, I can taste it, like on my palate. It kind of is.
You take pills or powder?
It's kind of like a copper taste. Almost.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know if you've ever tasted your blood, like if they pulled your tooth and you taste your blood or something, like that copperish.
Yeah. It's especially with it's a pill, right? You take pills, iron pills.
If I intake iron, I feel it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can
just like fish oil.
Yeah,
like
when you burp,
take fish oil and you burp it, you kind of like.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going through it right now.
You're like burping.
What is going on? Who the hell is calling me from Texas? When you eat an egg
and you burp and it smells like a fart and you're like...
No. I don't know who's calling me from Texas, but you got the wrong one. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I was in Walgreens earlier, and I purchased a couple of things, but I'm missing one of them. Where the hell is it? I don't know where it's at, but this is one of the things I purchased. I don't know if you could see it.
A diary?
Yes, a diary. No, it's not a diary, but yes, it is. Yes and no. This is a book that I actually, when I went into the store, I was just looking for a notebook. But then I was like, I want something that is going to remind me of what I'm writing in that book. Literally, I was in the Walgreens. It wasn't even Walmart. It was Walgreens. I was in the Walgreens aisle and I saw another book and I liked it. I liked the cover. It was like leather. And I was like, I'm going to buy this. But for some reason, I saw like this little glittery thing on the side. I'm like, what does that say? And I grabbed it and it said dream. So I decided to purchase it and use it to write my goals for this year. It's really pretty inside.
Okay,
That's
cool.
actually not the light in here. It's like the book is actually light pink to dark pink. But yeah, I bought it because I want to start writing just any little thing that comes to my mind, whether it's a business idea, whether it's like something I went through this year that I want to get over, or how I got over it. It's not going to be a journal where I'm like, Dear Nelly, today, January the 20th, Donald Trump, I'm not going to do all that. But
I had the same.
it is going to be a book that I want to be able to reflect on in 2022.
That's good. I started like a journaling thing, but then it turned into like the same thing you're describing. I got like 3 of these, and it's good to have to just jot down your ideas. I've been saying for the last year and a half that I want to do stand-up comedy. But my problem is like I'll come up with something. I'll have a line or two and it's good, but I never. So I started using the voice recorder. So I have a bunch of like little clips of me saying crazy ass stuff. I just gotta grow the balls to actually get up and do it. But COVID kind of destroyed everything.
Chia, get some chia seeds.
I have a whole jar of chia seeds. Shut up. So the whole COVID-19 hit, it's like everything is just done. Done.
Do you know? That's another whole other topic.
Did you to tap on that real quick? I just posted an image on the basement account. I just found out that Amazon reached out to our new president and said if they're willing to help distribute the vaccines, because Amazon's everywhere, right? They're willing to help open all their facilities up so that people can come and get their vaccines. And I'm saying, look at the hypocrisy. So you mean that your pride about being democratic or whatever the hell you are, your pride was bigger than the lives and the people that you could have helped a month ago? So you waited until Biden got into office to then say we could help when a month ago we needed the help? This is the type of hypocrisy that I'm saying is like, it's horrible because it's like, it again, what makes this country great is that we're a capitalist country. We believe in people's rights, and you can say whatever you want, and you can run your business however you want. But don't think that you're not gonna get called out for it, because to me that's hypocrisy.
You want to hear what I'm gonna say?
Go ahead.
Viewers are gonna be mad. But you know what? I'm here to make you guys happy, and I'm here to make you guys mad. Okay, I didn't vote, but I didn't vote for a reason. I didn't vote because I didn't believe in either of them, and I'm a firm believer of voting for what I believe in, and I didn't believe in anybody. I think that it was all kind of like a reality show, and a lot of conversations weren't even at all pertaining to bettering America.
Right.
Like, honestly, it really wasn't. There's so many ways of bettering America, and they're here talking about each other's kids. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? That's not even, why am I spending my money? My tax money is going to this stuff that they're doing. They need to be talking about things that are not on a Maury show or on like Bad Girls Club. Because we're not watching a reality show. This is like real life.
Yeah.
This is everyone's life here on stake, what they needed to talk about was, changing how they give out food stamps, changing how they give out assistance. And the reason why I'm bringing these up, and again, a lot of people are going to get mad about it because it's a sensitive subject, but if they want to save and they want to be able to provide in the right way, they need to cut certain things that they're doing. Right? Like, I'm not saying take away food stamps. I'm not saying take away housing, but there's actually people that are abusing the system. Those people need to be taken out so that the people who actually need the help can go in and get that help. Because I remember even being in New York, one time I had applied for food stamps. I lost my job. It was a crazy time. I applied for food stamps. They told me I couldn't get it because I made $10 above what the minimum wage was. So it's like, so is $10 going to feed me for the whole month? Because even though I make $10 more than what you guys require as the minimum wage, is that going to cover me? Am I going to be okay? Like, when I'm working, you take my tax money, but when I need money, you guys don't even want to help me. But if someone else comes that's on 100% full-blown drugs, you know what I'm saying? You help them. And I'm not judging everybody, because people, they turn to drugs for whatever reason. But after a certain point, then I think that the assistance should stop. And it can be very cold-hearted, and people might think that. But if you stop helping these people that are into drugs or into, using the benefits for other reasons, it's just not fair. Like, I know someone, I don't even want to say I know them, I know of them. They used to get their food stamps for them and their kid, and then they would sell their food stamps to get money, and then after they would get the money, they would go and buy drugs. So it was all a cycle. And it's like, okay, well, the government, like the people who are actually in there right now, don't even really know how the streets work, how things work out here. And they don't even see the truth of poverty, because they see other countries that, oh, we're better than those countries. But technically within our own country, we got a whole bunch of poor ass places. Okay, poor, that look like a nuclear bomb went off, and whatever was left over was patched by doors and windows to make it look like a city. And I ain't gonna throw no cities out there, but I've been to a couple that look like Elm Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really...
I mean, let's talk about this. Puerto Rico is a commonwealth of the United States. I just posted this the day before yesterday because it irritated me, Jose. Minimum wage is $6.75, and a gallon of milk is $6.55, and that's before they pass it through the thing and then add the tax, which is 16.7%. 18.7% tax, which means whatever someone makes in 1 hour minimum wage in Puerto Rico is the cost of a gallon of milk plus tax. That is not even fair. That is not even right.
I commented on that.
But then again, you look at the U.S., even Alabama. Alabama's minimum wage is $7.25.
Yeah. I actually commented.
And that's within the United States.
I actually commented on your post. You didn't see it because Facebook gave me a pow-pow. I got Facebook pow-powism.
Okay.
I got flagged.
I got a couple of messages deleted too.
Yeah. It's the first time I ever received that. The first time and they were like, "We understand that you made a mistake," and I can't even reply like, "Bitch, I didn't make a mistake. I did not make a mistake. I meant what I said." And what I said was, with that particular post, I said, that's because Puerto Ricans are pendejos. Now, I'm Puerto Rican. Another thing I wanted to tell Facebook, I'm racist for 100%. I'm racist to my own kind first. I want to see my people lifted up. I am. I'm mad racist against Puerto Ricans, and I'm Puerto Rican, and I have every right to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because I'm Puerto Rican, number one. Number two.
Why do you consider yourself racist?
Because I don't agree with because I have a problem with the way Puerto Ricans have treated the situation that they weren't, it wasn't their fault what happened to them, right? Columbus coming over and taking them over and colonizing. The Spanish-American War, where they fought off and gained their so-called independence, to only have another form of dictatorship, a whole country, take them under their wing, but not really. And I think that at the time, there was a time, there's still a time that we have enough resources to say, you know what, we're going to go solo and figure this out. But they don't, they rather just sit. I'm talking about majority of my cousins. I love you guys, but it's the truth. A majority of my own cousins, blood cousins, are just waiting for their food stamps and their money from the government. That's it. They don't do anything. I've been unemployed for 2 months and I'm losing my mind.
I don't really necessarily think everybody in Puerto Rico.
No,
like that.
And not everybody's like and not everyone is a pendejo. But I said Puerto Ricans. I said all of them, and that's why I got flagged, because
Puerto Ricans. You mean like Americanized Puerto Ricans, like Puerto Ricans that come here from Puerto Rico?
If you,
you mean Puerto Ricans from there in the island that live there right now?
If you believe that you're Puerto Rican, if you're taking that and identifying as Puerto Rican, I'm talking about the whole group of people, where it's like we're oppressed and we're just sitting there when we have the sciences, we have technology now, all those ports that the U.S. built for us. We could use that. We could tell U.S. we don't need you anymore. We're gonna use these ports and start shipping things in and out and become a major supplier of stuff instead of just sitting there and getting taxed twice for one thing. That's why the taxes are so high. The United States started this thing called the Jones Act, where everything gets to Florida. So you got to pay the taxes for it to get to Florida. Then you got to pay for it to go from Florida to Puerto Rico again. Double taxing everything that comes into the island or that goes out. So it's like, how do you expect to grow better if you're being chokehold by the U.S.? You know what I'm saying? And I think that, especially what happened recently with all those governors and the corruption that happened, like, we started the fight and then we were like...
But that's something, Jose, that's been happening for years. Like, I lived in Puerto Rico for a couple of years. I lived there for like 9 years. Everybody's into politics. When politic time comes around, everybody's ticking and tacking and, chillando goma and praising each and every different political view, right? Like, and at the end of the day, the question is, do these people actually know what they're celebrating? You know what I mean? Are they actually fully educated in their political views?
But see, this is what I said. That's why I said Puerto Ricans. I know that there are individuals that are very successful. We got doctors, we got lawyers, we got people sitting in high positions.
Actresses, singers.
So we have judges. The judge that swore in the vice president. I don't know if Sotomayor is Puerto Rican, but she's Spanish. So I'm not saying
she is.
I'm not
She's
saying.
Puerto Rican.
So what I'm saying is that in the essence of Puerto Rico and those who consider themselves Puerto Ricans, it's like we start the fight, but then we leave halfway, because after they successfully removed that governor.
The thing is, Jose, that I gotta go against you again, because like people in Puerto Rico that have never left, like people who have never ever left the island, that they know, all they know is, tú sabes, criar la gallina, matar la gallina, sacar el huevo, todo eso. Like, those people, they don't come here, and they don't come to the U.S. thinking about food stamps, most of them, because some of them come here scared. The truth of that is that they come here scared because the benefits, they don't get them there. So they get scared, and then when they see they can get them here, they kind of take advantage. That's the honest truth. I'm just being honest about it.
You don't think they get food stamps in Puerto Rico?
When the hurricane hit Puerto Rico, everybody from there was coming here for a better opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? But if you look at it, the U.S. took advantage of Puerto Rico. A lot of the U.S. airline companies were regular pricing. If I look at my phone right now, I could get a flight next week for $100 and something. But if a hurricane hits, they want to raise the prices to $2,000-$3,000 when they know that the people there are making a minimum wage of $6 an hour, that they can't even buy a house that they've lived in for 30 years, that they're still paying off.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. Because the people there do pay their taxes. Some of them didn't get the stimulus check. Some of them don't get any other benefits that we get here. A $600 check over there would be amazing for someone there. Because imagine that they work 2 weeks and their check is $237 after taxes. A 80 hours, 80-hour 2 week time frame, and their check is only $200. $600 as a stimulus check, as a bonus check to help them out in a difficult time, is actually a lot of money to them. A lot of money to someone that does not have. And so, going back to what I was saying about Puerto Rico, people are not fully educated, and people actually stay humble there. You got assholes, but you got people who are really actually humble, and they're okay with being poor. They're okay with their struggle, because they don't have to deal with other stuff that people here deal with, like a fast life where you can't think because things are moving so fast. There it's more like calm. You're enjoying your day. Your days are longer. You can do more. I love being in Puerto Rico. I hate that Puerto Rico is not treated equally to Hawaii. But again, Hawaii just recently became a state not too long ago. So it's all about Puerto Rico wanting to either separate or become its own. Become its own and separate, or become part of the U.S. And I think that the reason why it has not become part of the U.S. is because people don't want to lose their culture.
You think that what would, if you had the choice in your hands or a vote, would you want Puerto Rico to become independent, or would you want Puerto Rico to be a state?
That's hard. Just because independently, I believe Puerto Rico would survive if they were independent. They would do perfectly fine if they were independent.
You think so?
The thing is that the people don't believe that they can be independent, right? Like,
you're saying that
they just don't want to deal with.
You're saying that we're survivors. We'll get through it if we decide to go that route, but el deseo, the desire to, isn't there.
No está ahí. No. If anything, people would rather stay a commonwealth or become a state. And the only reason why I say about the state is because obviously there's more benefits, right? Like, if Puerto Rico becomes its own country, it has to start its own money. It has to start over from the beginning. You can't use U.S. anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would be a very hard reset button for an island that's going through a lot of suffering right now as is. Right. So I just don't think they would be willing to reset on top of the issues they already have. Because it's not going to change that they owe money to the U.S. It's not going to change any of the other stuff that's already written in stone.
Right.
And Puerto Rico is always up for grab. Like, all these other countries want to buy us. Canada wants to buy us.
Canada, yo.
But the U.S. will not budge. They're like not for it. But Canada was interested in buying the U.S. at one point. Canada was interested in buying Puerto Rico at one point. And I'm thinking it was the beginning of last year in 2020, when the earthquakes were happening. But talking about Puerto Rico, there's a couple of things I want to bring up. So first thing is, like, just last week, I don't know if you saw, they had murdered 3 officers.
Yo, that was insane. I saw the faces of the 3 officers too. Like, I saw a posting on it. But what have you found out? Because I know when it comes to Puerto Rican news, you on it for sure. So I'm gonna leave that.
So they did find the murderer.
They did.
They found the murderer the next day.
Dead.
But they found him in a ditch. Yes.
Dead. With
a cardboard paper on his chest stating that he was the one who made the assassination of the 3 officers. I don't know if you could hear that. That's just my phone. It's going off. It's throwing me an alert. It just says, "You are the most beautiful thing. Remember that always." Thank you, phone. But I don't know. It's an app. It's an encouragement app, and throughout the day, it sends me encouraging messages like,
Does that shit work?
"Remember not to get in a toxic relationship again," things like that.
So it's not working.
And no, I just downloaded it, so it might be working. I don't know yet.
Give me a chance. Yeah, let it. Give me a few weeks.
Give me a chance.
I'll let you know how it turns out, pendeja. All right.
Give me like 2-3 months.
So he confessed to it because I'm imagining he's like, I'm done. There's a manhunt for me. This is a small island. I can't swim.
I think, you know what? I think what happened was this. He shot the crowd, shot the cops, whatever. Then went back to his hood. This is just what I'm thinking. You know, I have the same birthday as Pablo Escobar, so I'm not a murderer or a gangster or gangbanger or whatever he was. What was he, like a kingpin? Totally not like Pablo Escobar. But I can say, if I thought like him, I would say the guy shot the cops, then drove all the way to his projects. Then, you know, was like telling his friends, like, "Oh, what am I going to do with this gun? I just shot the cops." And his friends like, "What? I got drugs in my house. Why you come to my house? Come on, let's go hide the gun." Took him in his car, boop, boop, and then dropped him off in a corner. You know, like, don't be coming to my house with that.
You're saying
because if you notice, the cops surrounded that same project where he went into.
So someone snitched him out.
They didn't snitch him. They killed him.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say. They just like
the thing is they were worried that he would get caught and he would snitch them out. So instead they're like, you or me? Let's see. You're gonna go and I'm gonna stay. They're not gonna worry about me because at the end of the day they got their answers. I'm sure the cops are not doing any more investigations regarding that, who killed him or anything. To be honest, that was deaded at the moment they found his body and they pinned 2 and 2 together. They're like, "Oh, somebody else did the job for us. Ya está."
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
No están buscando el que mató al tipo because they did justice. That's how they see it. And that's pretty much how they see it.
Yeah, he can't.
That's how that is.
You can't convict someone of a crime that's not alive.
Well, what I'm saying is not the guy who's dead. Who cares? He's dead, right? They already pinned him to the events. I'm talking about the people who killed him. They're not going to go find that person. They're not going to go investigate. They're not going to go find a piece of hair and trail it back to the cousin.
Oh, because okay. I see what you're saying. It's like
they're just not.
It's like that crime was okay because you killed the guy that killed us.
Right.
An enemy of my enemy is my friend. Assumption. Maybe that I don't know how that applies, but I just felt like saying
that's exactly how it applies. Because I'm just going to say this, nationwide, worldwide, police are a gang. They're all gang bangers that are now wearing a badge. Not all of them. But to be honest, if you think about it, that's what it is. Because if I'm with you and somebody shoots you and you're wearing a badge like me, I'm shooting them. If I feel like somebody's going to shoot you before you could shoot them, or they're going to shoot me before they could shoot me, and you're my partner, you're going to shoot them.
Yeah.
So the point of it is it's all who got who's back. Now, if I don't like my partner, shoot that nigga. We can make some. We could talk about how we gonna split this drugs and sell it. You know what I mean? There's cops that are like that. Don't get it twisted, because there are cops that are like that, and people don't see that. People don't know that. They don't believe that. And then
while you were saying that, I was just thinking of Training Day. Go ahead.
It's exactly like Training Day. You know, Denzel Washington, right? Denzel.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it totally is like that. Like, and so you don't know who, you know, it could have been one of those officers' relatives that killed the guy. It could have been his own family members. It could have been another drug dealer. It could have been so many other options and people, and they're not going to look for them. So that's all that matters. Because it's like, you know what? You did us a favor. So he's off the streets. We don't got to worry about him doing any more crime. So, yeah. They're not thinking, wow, well, if someone killed this son of a gun and this son of a gun killed 3 cops, then that son of a gun that killed this one must be worse than him. They don't think that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a crime is a crime. They should keep going. And, I mean, if he was killed, but, I mean, I don't see again. What did he do?
That fue baleado. Baleado means he was shot.
He was shot. It was reported that he was shot, not that he killed himself. Suicide. Like, did they do an investigation of where he shot himself? Because they could tell whether it's a suicide or not. That's what I'm saying. Like,
of course, but like I said, they could have planted the gun there. It could have been a random person, make me sit, shoot me in the head, then take the gun, put it in my hand, shoot in the air, and now I got gunpowder in my hand. It looks like I did it. Come on. CSI, Law and Order, they teach you all this. This is why criminals get away with their stuff, because they watch all these shows and they get a dream notebook and they write their dreams in their notebook and then they do crazy stuff.
Yo, I'm looking at the camera feed and you're so colorful. I look like I need iron. I need a like brown paint because I'm so white.
Colorful?
Yeah. Relax. So
this is the color Jesus gave me.
Shut up. I have a question.
White.
I have a question.
This is the color made by the Lord.
Jesus. All right. So for you guys that are watching this is basically a brand new show.
They're probably like, these girls are obnoxious.
No, I find that funny. We're basically we're just two people just shooting the breeze and talking about the most current hot topics, mainly like artists and just like theories pretty much. We'll be kicking off this series once a week. Check us out on Fridays. We're going to try to post an episode every Friday with Nelly and myself, and that's basically what we are. What you just witnessed is how we get it. You already know what to do. Follow us, like us, all that other crap. I'll add an end screen to it, but real quick, we've known each other for like 10 years, right?
Yes. I'm just telling them, get your battery packs. Make sure your phone's fully charged. Because we're going to charge up your life.
Okay, yeah.
My little muscles. I just started doing push-ups, everybody. 100 push-ups a day. My roommate, she has like guns. When I'm saying guns, like she'll show you her that even.
So you do 100 push-ups? Awesome. Bendito. I got to 3.
Push-ups a day.
I could only do 3.
Jeez, right, I'm flaca. Oh, I thought you were saying 300. I'm like, geez, I'm flaca. I can only, but I don't do 100 straight. You know, I do like 20. Stop, 20.
Oh, you just added them up together.
5 times.
Got it. 5 reps. How much time do you spend daily on the body? Like exercising your health.
Ooh.
What?
I feel like so my roommate will definitely have a different answer to this answer, but I'd say in an average day that I do feel energized to work out, I will do some yoga in the morning. So I consider that part of my body.
Stretching, relaxing,
So I do yoga, and it's very weird. I may do yoga in the closet because it's dark and I don't have any other darker places in the morning. The closet's a walk-in closet, so I just go in there. I turn on a little candle, and I just meditate while I'm in there. Whether it's I'm praying, whether I'm just listening to chimes on YouTube, like musical chimes, just trying to kind of align myself. So that's what I do in the morning, and then in the afternoon around, I'm gonna say 5-ish, me and her will do some workout. Me and my roommate will do a workout for about an hour, and then sometimes at night, like around 9 o'clock before bed, we'll go on Instagram, and I follow my trainer. Her name is Fabiana Ferrini, and I do the HIIT workouts with her online. So that's about an hour. So I'd say anywhere from 2 hours a day or 2.5, depending on what I'm doing. So on Sundays, I do kickboxing. So that's the only workout I do that day. And that's starting this Sunday.
Kickboxing. That's what's up. I actually wanted to give that a try. because I'm like, I want to do something, but I don't want to do the gym because I feel like that with a kickboxing
You're not
gym,
motivated.
I'm definitely not motivated. But in the kickboxing gym, you're not doing it alone, right? There's someone hosting a class or something.
No, you either you could either do it in a class or you could do it with a trainer. It depends on what goals you have. Like if you're actually doing it to become healthy. Excuse me, that's part of my protein shake. I keep burping. Either you want to do it to get healthy or you want to do it for stamina, stability, whatever it is that you're interested in. Like I'm doing it just because I want to be able to get in shape and learn some self-defense.
That's what's up.
So that's why I'm doing it.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it too.
Also, I've been looking at a couple of places for vocal lessons because I don't know, I might want to go into singing again. So, it's just a thought. Not sure if I want to do that yet. I've tortured my voice over the years.
I think that you should do everything.
It's not exactly where I want to be.
I think you should do everything. I think you should do everything that you possibly can. No regrets. Well,
I am doing. I did tell you that I am doing that microblading class to start doing permanent makeup, and my goal with that specific thing is to every 3 months, depending on how my business goes, I would like every 3 months to be able to go to a hospital and find a patient with either alopecia or cancer with hair loss and do the procedure for them for free. So that's what I would like to do. And maybe gather some other people in the beauty industry to come and help me pamper these people, whether it's a barber that comes and shaves somebody's head or, someone that's an esthetician and wants to do a facial for somebody. I think that it would just be a good way of giving back to people and making them feel special, without expecting something. Like it's not their birthday. It's not anything, a day that they've expected to be treated differently, you know?
Right.
And that's kind of what I like to do eventually as far as that business. But also in November, and maybe you could do it in New York, I would like to buy about 6 turkeys. I think I spoke with Adriel about this, or I don't know if you guys know him as Goldie or what, but we have been talking about it because I want to be able to give back to the elderly around the holiday season. So the only reason why I pick them is because I feel like they are the reason why all of us are here and we forget about them. And most of them are eating home alone on Thanksgiving or don't even have anything to eat. Just warm up one of those TV dinners that their nurse brings them. And so I just think that bringing them a plate of food would just make them feel a little more at home.
Yeah, that's dope.
During the holiday.
That's dope. We're also gonna have like I said, we're gonna, this is just the thing started. We're gonna have some other guests and some features that we're adding to this. So this was just basically an introduction and just shooting the breeze, being the first day we have a brand new president. So that's pretty much what's going on in the ether and the social medias. Is going to be that topic for a hot minute. But the Bochinche is basically that. Usually, if you look up the word Bochinche, it's to tear someone down, right? It's talk about, negative gossip. And I don't like that part of Bochinche because I feel like that's genuine Bochinche. For us, it's more like we're just talking about the crap that's going on around us, and the name was kind of catchy, but we're pretty much just having the conversations like you guys are. So we'll have the Instagram page, we'll have the Facebook page coming up shortly, and you could check us out. You could basically look us up on, now that I'm thinking about it, check us out at, I'm going to see if I could buy the domain, but for now, go to the Basement NY or Inconsistent Media, and you'll find this episode, more episodes to come, and stay tuned. This is going to be a good year. I believe it. What about you?
Yep, for sure. Feel free to leave us any messages or things you might want us to talk about in the comments below or in the side or above. I don't know where they're gonna
I'm gonna
be,
make
but
it
they're
go
gonna
all the
be
way
somewhere
around.
as long as you decide to type them in.
She's really good with that too.
So take some time out of your day.
I'm sure they're doing that already.
Ideas, and we'll try to figure out what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
Huh?
for real. I'm pretty sure they're doing that already. You know what I mean? Going in there, and that's the thing people do these days. That in video games, like you mentioned. That's pretty much it. So, Bonchinche, we out. Peace.
Deuces.